The scream came from the dragon pit. Guards ran to the rail. Under cold blue lights, a human maid lay on the black stone, her arm torn and bleeding. Prince Kale's dragon stood over her, blue venom dripping from its teeth and burning small holes in the floor. Everyone in the palace knew one rule: no one survives that bite. Not soldiers, not criminals, never humans. So when her fingers twitched and her chest rose in a slow, broken breath, the whole pit fell silent. The dragon pulled its head back and stared at her as if it had just seen something impossible. The dragon pit sat deep under the palace, a hot bowl of stone and smoke. A force field hummed above the burned floor. Mara, the human maid, lay on her side in the dust. Her plain gray dress was ripped. Her left arm hung at a bad angle. That arm, a row of teeth marks, glowed with soft blue light. Thin lines of light spread under her skin. Moving slowly from the wound, tall gray-skinned guards watched from the platform. Shock spears ready in their hands, trained for war and monsters. None of them stepped forward. "She should be dead," one guard said. His voice was low. On the high balcony, Prince Kale watched behind a clear shield. He was young for a prince, his skin marked with thin silver lines of royal blood. His eyes did not leave the maid. He had seen his dragon bite before. The venom always killed. Hearts stopped, lungs burned. Bodies went still in seconds. Yet this human's chest still rose and fell. A court doctor stood beside him with a flat glowing screen. "Your Highness," the doctor said, "the venom is flooding her blood. No human body can survive this. It should have ended her life already." Down in the pit, the dragon shifted its claws. Dark scales caught the light. Blue lines shone between them. Its bright eyes stayed fixed on Mara. It did not look hungry. It looked curious. Mara's fingers curled in the dust. Her body shook once. A weak sound came from her throat. One guard lifted his weapon. "End it," he said. "She is suffering." Prince Kale's answer was sharp. "No." Every head turned toward him. He did not look at the guard. "Do not touch her," he said. "Bring her to the infirmary. I want to know why she is still alive." The guards traded quick looks. Humans did not go to the infirmary. Humans were replaced. But a prince's order was law. 2 guards jumped down into the pit, never turning their backs on the dragon. They lifted Mara carefully. They carried her toward the tunnel. Bite marks on her arm glowed brighter for a moment. The dragon lowered its head and let out a low sound. It did not sound like rage. It sounded like an answer. Far from the pit, small medical drones carried Mara through empty halls into a cold white room. Machines surrounded a narrow bed. Mara did not see any of it. Inside her body, the venom moved like blue fire. It rushed through her veins, searching for her heart and brain, tried to burn and end. Each time it struck, something pushed back. It was not strong. It was only stubborn, a small, quiet refusal to stop. Short flashes of memory passed through her mind, buckets of dirty water, the sting of cleaning chemicals, alien voices calling humans cheap and weak. The rules: keep your head low. Stay behind the yellow line. Never look the dragon in the eyes. Then one last memory, standing in the pit, heat on her skin. The dragon's eyes locked with hers. For 1 second, she had seen something there that did not belong to a weapon. She had seen pain. The fire in her blood slowed. It did not leave. It settled, as if it had found a place inside her. Machines beeped in soft confusion. Her heart kept beating. Hours passed. The medical wing grew quiet. Mara's eyes opened. The ceiling above her was smooth and white. Tubes ran into her bitten arm. The skin around the teeth marks glowed with faint blue light. She drew in one breath, then another. Then something moved inside her mind. It was not a human voice. It was heat, stone, the weight of chains, the taste of smoke, and the echo of a hidden roar. Too bright. Cold eyes seemed to look through hers. Mara's body went still on the bed. The first thought in her mind was not her own. Mara lay on the narrow bed and stared at the white ceiling. Machines hummed beside her. It felt like a big shape in the dark, close and watching. A rough word formed in her mind: hungry. The word did not sound like her. It tasted like smoke and hot air. Mara shut her eyes. I am Mara, she told herself. I am human. I am a maid in the alien prince's palace. I am alive. Hungry, it repeated. Cold. Her heart beat faster. In the palace, humans who heard voices were called broken. Broken humans disappeared. Mara did not want to disappear. You are not real, she whispered. Go away. For a moment, the presence pulled back. The room felt thin and quiet. Then a picture burst in her mind. A red sky, black cliffs, hot wind under wide wings. Rivers of lava far below. The heavy body of something flying, strong and sure. Mara gasped. The picture vanished. The machines beside her beeped faster. The door slid open. A gray-skinned doctor walked in with a glowing slate. 2 guards waited outside. The doctor checked the numbers above her bed. All 4 of his small eyes widened. Your heart rate is rising, he said. Are you in pain, human? Yes, Mara said. It was easier than the truth. He tapped the slate. You should be dead, he said softly. The venom in your blood is far beyond fatal for your kind. Your cells are changing. Changing how? Mara asked. He looked at her, surprised she could speak. Adapting, he said. Building new walls. New paths. No other species does this so fast. Humans are. Strange. He said strange like a puzzle. The door opened again. Prince Kale stepped into the room, silver lines on his skin catching the light. The doctor bowed at once. Your Highness, he said. The subject is stable. Against logic. Mara turned her head. She had seen the prince from far away, never this close. He was younger than she expected, but he moved like everything here was his. His eyes went to her bitten arm. The teeth mark still glowed faint blue under the skin. You remember the bite? He asked. Mara chose her words. I remember the pit, she said. Heed the dragon's mouth. Then nothing. She did not mention the voice or the sky of red and black. If they knew she shared the dragon's memories, they would open her up to see why. She should not be awake, the doctor said. Human nerves shut down under this level of toxin. Kale did not look at him. What do you feel now? He asked Mara. Tired, she said. Cold. The presence inside her stirred cold. It echoed, low growl in the back of her mind. Mara kept her face calm. Kale nodded once. You will be watched, he said. Guards at your door. No other humans may see you until we understand why you live. No other humans. Her friends would think she was dead. In this palace, humans paid for every rumor. Yes, Your Highness, she said. Kale turned to go, then paused. Human, he said. What is your name? Mara, she said. He repeated it quietly. Mara. Then he left. The doctor changed a few settings and followed. The door sealed. The guards stayed outside. Mara listened to her own, breathing and counted in her head. 1, 2, 3. The presence came back on 4. It did not slam into her thoughts. It sat there, heavy and patient. Mara closed her eyes. You are the dragon, she thought. Silence. Then another picture rose. Dark chains wrapped tight around scaled limbs. A metal collar locked around a strong neck, lines of blue light running over it. Pale alien faces stood in a ring at a safe distance, watching and writing notes. Pain, needles, forced sleep, waking to more chains. Mara's fingers clenched on the blanket. The presence shaped one clear word. Cage. A shiver ran through her. Yes, she whispered. I know cages. Far above, in the deep stone pit, the chain dragon lifted its head. Its eyes glowed with thin blue lines. In the medical room, Mara opened her eyes. For one heartbeat, she saw 2 ceilings at once, the white above her human body and the dark stone arch above the dragon. The double vision vanished. Mara lay still, heart pounding. Someone had used venom to chain the dragon. Someone had tried to use the same venom to kill a human maid instead. The venom had tied them together, and now, for the first time in the palace, a human knew how the prince's favorite weapon felt from the inside. Morning lights turned blue in the medical room. Machines hummed around Mara's bed. Her arms still showed the faint pattern of dragon teeth under her skin. Her body felt weak, but her mind was sharp. When she closed her eyes, she could feel the dragon at the back of her thoughts. Heavy. Awake. The door slid open. A small cleaning drone rolled in. It sprayed mist as it moved. Normally, Mara would ignore it, but the dragon inside her stirred. Danger, she tensed. The drone passed the heart monitor and the medicine cart and rolled toward the tubes in her arm. The hot presence in her mind pushed. Strike. Mara's leg moved before she could think. She kicked out with all her strength. Her heel hit metal. The drone flew sideways, slammed into the wall, and fell on its back. A panel popped open. A thin needle slid out. It's filled with bright blue liquid venom, the heart monitor screamed. 2 guards burst through the door, weapons raised. The gray doctor rushed in behind them with his slate. He saw the broken drone and the needle. The color drained from his face. "That unit is not from my wing," he said. "Who sent a venom injector into a recovery room?" Mara stared at the needle. One touch of that poison, and she would be another dead human. The doctor forced his voice steady. "Secure this device. Trace its code." The guards gathered the pieces and left. The dragon rumbled inside her, pleased by the broken machine. The doctor turned to Mara. "How did you know?" He asked. "You should not be strong enough to move like that." "Did not like it near me," she said. "It felt wrong." Doctor typed fast. "Humans," he muttered. "You sense things we do not record." He walked out. When the door closed, Mara let out a slow breath. "You protected me," she thought, toward the presence in her mind. An answer came as feeling. For a heartbeat, she saw wings over a nest, fire ready, claws between danger and something small. Guard, Mara swallowed. The dragon, used as a weapon, understood one rule: protect what was bonded to it, far above. In the stone pit, chains scraped. The dragon shifted. Its eyes flashed blue. On a balcony, Prince Kale stood with his royal advisor. They watched the beast. "The human lives," the advisor said. "And now, someone tries to erase your choice before the council hears of it." Kale's jaw tightened. "She is not a toy," he said. "She is proof." "Proof of what?" the advisor asked. "That humans are harder to kill than rats?" "Proof we misjudged them," Kale said. "We bought them as cheap hands. We never asked what else they could be." The advisor's mouth curved. "Tools that think become weapons," he said. "And weapons belong to the throne." Kale ignored the sting. "There were old venom projects," he said. "Dragons bound to soldiers." "There were," the advisor replied. "Venom gave strength and a command to obey. Most subjects died. The ones who lived went mad. The council ended the work." He turned his eyes on Kale. "And now you have a human who lives, speaks clearly, and threw a drone across a room. Do you think she is under anyone's control?" Kale remembered Mara's eyes in the medical bed. Afraid, but focused. "I will decide that," he said. "Keep those records away from the council. If they see them, they will cut her open." "As you wish, Highness," the advisor said. He bowed and left. In the medical room, Mara sat up. She lifted her bitten arm. The skin around the marks tingled. On the stand beside her, a clear water tube held 1 drop. Mara narrowed her eyes. She remembered the burst of heat when she kicked the drone. She reached for that same heat now, but did not move. The bite marks warmed. The dragon's focus sharpened. The drop trembled, then slid down the glass. Mara let out a small breath. If the wrong person saw this, she would become a project. "More," the dragon whispered. "Fire." "Not yet." She whispered back. "We need to live first." Boots thudded outside. A shadow crossed the small window. The lock clicked. The door slid open. 3 elite guards stepped in. Their armor was darker. Their weapons hummed. Mara's skin went cold. The dragon flared hot. Threat, the lead guard spoke. "Human Mara," he said. "You are to be moved." By order of the royal advisor, he did not mention the prince. The lights above them flickered as the dragon's anger rolled through her veins. Not Cage. It growled. Fight. Mara stared at the three elite guards. Their armor was heavier than the normal ones. Their helmets hid their faces. Their weapons hummed in their hands, low and dangerous. The royal advisor ordered your transfer, the lead guard said again. You will come with us. Now, the dragon's presence inside her rolled and pressed against her thoughts. Lie, it growled. Mara's skin prickled. The air felt too thin. Where are you taking me? She asked. Her voice sounded small in the bright medical room. Containment wing, the guard said. For study. For safety, not safe, the dragon whispered. Cage. Cut. Mara saw a flash in her mind. A metal table, bright lights, blades, cold hands. Not her memory. The dragon's. Her stomach turned. I want to see the prince, she said. He ordered, I stay here. The lead guard stepped closer. The prince is busy, he said. Move. He reached for the tube in her arm. The dragon's anger hit her like a hot wave. No. The lights above them flickered again. The heart monitor gave a sudden, sharp beep, and then went silent, as if something inside it burned out. The guard hesitated, then pulled the tube anyway. Pain stabbed her arm. Blue light flared under her skin. Something inside Mara snapped. Enough. She swung her legs over the bed and stood. Her legs shook, but a deeper strength held her up. Heat rushed through her veins from the bite marks. It spread into her chest, her hands, her eyes. The second guard raised his weapon. Stand down, human, he said. Drop to your knees. The dragon's voice joined hers, not in words, but in pure sound. Her next sentence came out doubled. A human voice wrapped in a low growl. Stay back, she said. The weapons hummed louder. The dragon pushed. Fire. Mara did not see flames. But the air around the guards' weapons wavered like heat above a desert road. The metal casings glowed dull red, then bright. The guard shouted. One dropped his weapon. It hit the floor, spat a shower of sparks, and went dark. Another tried to fire, but the gun died in his hand. The power cell burned out. The heart monitor beside her bed cracked. A hairline split ran down its side, as if some invisible pressure crushed it from within. The lead guard stared at her, eyes wide behind his visor. What are you? He whispered. Mara's chest heaved. Heat rolled off her skin. For a moment, she felt like she stood in two bodies at once, her human feet on the cold floor, and from massive claws digging into stone far away. She did not step forward. She did not attack, but the floor under her feet trembled as if the palace itself had taken a breath. Up in the security hub, a wall of screens showed every part of the palace. One screen flashed red. A technician tapped it. Anomaly in the medical wing, he said. Energy surge non-weapon. Cameras online? On another floor, Prince Kale stopped in the hallway as his wrist screen buzzed. He read the alert, then turned to the nearest lift. Medical wing. Now, he ordered in the hub. The royal advisor watched the screen too. He saw Mara standing, guards around her, weapons burned out. Interesting, he said softly. The human is more useful than I thought. In the medical room, the guards slowly backed toward the door. Their weapons were dead. Their mission was broken. Mara's breathing slowed. The heat inside her settled, still strong, but no longer wild. The dragon's presence lay close. Ready. Protect, it said. The door slid open again with a sharp hiss. This time, Prince Kale stepped through first. Two standard guards followed him, but they stayed near the wall. Kale looked at the burned weapons, the cracked monitor, the shaking elite guards, and then at Mara. No one moves, he said. His voice cut through the room like a blade. The elite guards froze. Kale walked forward. Slow and careful, as if approaching a wild beast. The advisor ordered a transfer without my consent, he asked. His tone was calm, but his jaw was tight. The lead guard swallowed. We were given direct command, he said. We did not know she could do. This Kale glanced at Mara's bitten arm. The marks glowed brighter now, thin blue lines tracing her veins. To the doctor, who had rushed in and now stood at the door, he said, "Record this. Full report. Restricted to my seal." Then he faced the guards. "This human," he said slowly, "is now classed as a royal asset under my protection. Any order to move or harm her will come only from me. Any other command is treason." The word hung in the air. Treason. The elite guards stiffened. Treason meant death. "Yes, Your Highness," the lead guard said. They backed out of the room, shaken. The door closed behind them. Silence fell. Mara stood in the center. Bare feet on the cold floor, hospital gown hanging loose, arm glowing like a living brand. "You should be dead," Kale said. "Instead, you broke elite weapons without touching them." Mara swallowed. "I was afraid," she said. "Something answered from the dragon," he asked quietly. The presence inside her stirred. "Mine," it said. "Scale. Chosen." Mara looked at Kale. She did not say yes. She did not say no. "I do not know what I am now," she said. "Only that someone tried to kill me. Twice." Kale's eyes darkened. "They will not get a third chance," he said. He turned to the doctor. "Move her to a secure room on my floor," he ordered. "Guards outside. Recorders inside. She is not a slave now. She is an experiment the council will never get." He met Mara's eyes one last time. "Rest," he said. "You will need your strength." When he left, the room felt larger and colder. Later, in the small dark of her new chamber, Mara lay on a soft bed she did not trust. The palace was quiet. Lights dimmed. The dragon pulled her mind again. Stronger this time. Clearer. She did not see memories. She saw something else. Flames climbing palace walls. Alien nobles running in panic. Chains melting like wax. Above it all, a figure stood in the center of a burning hall. It was her. But not the weak maid in gray. Her skin glowed with blue fire. Behind her, wings of light stretched wide. Shaped like the dragon's, but made of pure energy, Mara woke with a sharp cry. Heart racing. The dragon's voice wrapped around her like smoke. "Soon," it said, and somewhere deep below in the pit. The chained beast lifted its head toward the prince's tower and let out one soft, silent roar only she could hear. Mara's new room was high in the prince's tower. The walls were clean. The bed was soft. A wide window showed the bright alien city below. It still felt like a cage. Just a higher one. 2 guards stayed at her door. Cameras watched the corners. Mara sat on the bed and touched the bite marks on her arm. Thin blue lines glowed under the skin. "Are you awake?" she thought. Awake. The dragon answered at once. Hungry. Heat rolled through her chest. In her mind, she felt stone under claws, heavy chains, the taste of smoke. If you shout, it will notice, she thought, toward it. Stay quiet. Quiet, the dragon repeated, unhappy but listening. A soft chime sounded. The door opened. Prince Kale stepped in with a flat screen in his hand. The guards stayed outside. Mara stood up. "You may sit," Kale said. She stayed standing. He moved to the small table by the window and put the screen down. "Come," he said. "Look at this." The display showed lines and colored graphs, heart rate, blood tests, brain waves. "You should be dead," he said. "But your body is changing instead." "Humans adapt," Mara said quietly. "If we do not, we die." "In old venom trials," Kale said, tapping the screen, subjects grew calm and obedient. Their minds became soft. Your mind is not soft. "Humans do not make good pets," Mara said. Kale's mouth moved. Almost a smile. "The council will hear about you," he said. "They will want you and the dragon both under their control." "Are you hiding me from them?" Mara asked. "Or saving me for yourself?" He held her gaze. "Both," he said. "If they see you as a weapon, they will take you. If I keep you, I may keep you alive." He changed the display. A long list appeared, rows of numbers and names. "How many humans live here?" Mara asked. In this palace, around 3,000, he said. In the city, maybe 20,000. Across the empire, many more. We needed hands when we built, hands not people. Mara looked out the window. Far below, the lower levels were dim and crowded. She imagined tired human faces she could not see. The dragon felt her anger and pushed its own. Burn, it suggested. Not yet, she thought. Fire in the wrong place kills the wrong people. The door chimed again. Kale's jaw tightened. Enter, he said. The royal advisor walked in, cloak brushing the floor. His eyes slid over Mara like she was a chair. Highness, he said, the council has sent orders. They want a full report on human assets in the capital. Numbers, health, output. The word assets made Mara's stomach twist. The advisor placed a small crystal chip on the table. They also propose an improvement, he went on. A new processing station outside the city, centralized, efficient. We would move humans there in groups. Easier to track? Easier to recycle? He used the last word like he was talking about scrap metal. Inside Mara, something snapped. The dragon's fury slammed through her. For a heartbeat, the lights dimmed. The advisor glanced at the ceiling, uneasy. Kale spoke quickly. We will answer the council later. This is a private consult. Leave us. The advisor dipped his head, but his eyes were sharp. As you wish, he said. I will begin early lists for transfer. The weak stock can move first. Weak stock, he left. The door closed. Mara stared at the chip. They will not return from that station, she said. Kale did not argue. The council does not waste anything, he said. When they say recycle, they mean use flesh, bone, and fear. The rest is burned. The dragon pressed against her thoughts again. Fight now, it said. Mara closed her eyes and took one slow breath. If we fight now, she told it, we die in this room. The humans in the city die in their cages. The council stays safe and builds another dragon. The dragon hated this, but it listened. Plan. She told it, wait, choose the right wall to break. She opened her eyes and looked at Kale. Help me, she said, not only to live, help me free them. The humans here, the ones in the city, as many as we can before those ships come. You are a maid, he said, bought as labor. And you ask me to stand against the council and the empire? I ask you to stop pretending you do not hear a scream, she said. You live above it. I lived inside it. Silence filled the room. Outside, the city lights blinked like small trapped stars. If I help you, Kale said at last, I risk my name, my title, my life. If you do nothing, Mara replied, one day a human like me will rise without you, and then you will lose more than your name. For the first time, real fear crossed his face. Not fear of her. Fear of what humans might become. He turned back to the screen. The council's transport ships arrive in 3 cycles, he said. That is when they will begin the transfers. 3 cycles. 3 chances. The dragon leaned forward inside her mind. Soon, it said, Mara watched the dark lines of the lower city. She imagined doors open, chains falling, humans running under a sky that did not belong to their masters. We will be ready before they arrive, she said. It was not a hope, it was a decision. Asterisk. 3 cycles remained before the council's visit by day. Mara walked the palace with a guard at her back and a data slate in her hands. Officially, she was helping Prince Kale update human asset records. To most aliens, it looked like dull work for a cheap maid. The slate showed names, work zones, health marks, transfer tags. Every transfer tag smelled like a grave. The bite marks on her arm warmed as she scrolled. The dragon felt her anger and pushed its own. Burn, it whispered. Not yet, she answered. Fire too soon kills the wrong ones. At night, Kale met her in empty storerooms and narrow stairwells. Guards waited outside while they bent over the same maps. You asked for my help, he said. So show me something that isn't just a slower way to die. Mara traced thin roots with her finger. Laundry shafts. Waste tunnels. Service corridors, she said. Humans move through them all day. Guards ignore them. If we need to send messages or bodies, this is our road. You think you can move a revolt through dirty pipes? Kale asked. You already move an army that way, Mara said. You just call us staff. He fell quiet. Small changes, she said. Shift to patrol here. Turn off a scanner there. Leave some doors on manual. Nothing that screams rebellion. Just loosen the net. Bit by bit he did. Orders went out. Patrol paths changed. A few cameras were removed for repair. Side doors that had always been locked by default now stayed on local control in the lower levels. Humans began to notice small signs. A mop handle tapped twice on a pipe instead of once. A folded towel placed on the left instead of the right. A small word scratched low where only short workers passed. Soon, Mara never stopped to explain. Long speeches got you noticed, and noticed got you killed. Instead, as she carried sheets and tools, she let her eyes meet other human eyes 1 second longer than was safe. A nod toward a now unlocked side door. A glance at a ceiling where a camera had once watched. A tilt of the head that meant, not today, but be ready. Humans were used to reading danger in tiny things. Now they learned to read hope the same way. On the third cycle, the Council's ships appeared above the city. From her window, Mara saw them cut across the clouds, dark arrows with cold, sharp lights. The dragon felt them at once. Its anger rose like heat before a storm. Kill, it growled. Not yet, she answered. We need their eyes on us, not on the humans in the walls. That night, Kale came to her room. The lines on his face looked deeper. Tomorrow the council walks into the grand hall, he said. They want to see the dragon perform. They want to inspect human stock. Then tomorrow is our chance, Mara said. It is also our test, he replied. If you lose control, they will burn you, me, the dragon, and half this city to stop what you're becoming. Mara looked at her glowing arm. I don't plan to lose control, she said. I plan to take it away from them. When sleep finally came, it came with fire. She dreamed she stood in the dragon pit. The chains were gone. The dragon above her was made of light and flame, huge and wild. Humans and aliens ran and screamed. Not them, she shouted. Not the children. Not the ones who never held the whip. The dragon did not answer. Its mouth opened. Fire poured out over stone, metal, flesh. It did not care who broke under it. Only that nothing ever chained it again. For a heartbeat, she saw herself from far away, a small figure at the center, eyes burning, arm a bright torch. The fire did not stop at the palace walls. It climbed the tower, reached the ships, clawed at the clouds. She woke with a sharp cry, sheets twisted, heart pounding. Her skin was hot. Her arms shone bright blue in the dark. The dragon coiled close in her mind, confused by her fear. Too much, she thought at it. If we burn everything, we become what we hate. The dragon pushed back with old rage and pain, but the bond held. We choose our fire, she whispered into the empty room, or it chooses us. Outside, the council's ships hung over the city like waiting knives inside. One human maid lay awake and knew that tomorrow she must face 2 empires at once. The one that owned her body, and the one made of fire inside her own blood. Drums shook the grand hall. Nobles filled the balconies, staring at the center. The dragon pit was now a stage. Chains held the dragon down. A collar wrapped its neck, wires vanishing into the floor. Force fields hummed. On a high platform sat the council in dark robes. Prince Kale stood beside them. At the edge of the stage stood Mara. She wore a plain gray tunic, no apron, no collar. Her bitten arm was bare. The teeth marks glowed under her skin. A human, someone whispered. The bonded one. The royal advisor stepped forward. Honored council, he said, tonight you will see a new tool. The prince's dragon linked to a human host who survived its venom. A living weapon, under our control. Inside Mara, the dragon tent. Not. It growled. One of the council elders leaned forward. Human unit, the elder said. Step closer. Mara walked to the edge of the field. Name, the elder said. Mara, she answered. Status, he asked. In her mind, the dragon hissed. Property. Slave Mara looked up at the balcony at aliens seated safe above. At humans holding trays by the doors? Awake, she said. That is my status, gasps rose. Some nobles went quiet. Do you obey the Empire? The elder asked. The dragon pushed, wanting to burn. Burn, it urged. Mara held on to her voice. I obey what is right, she said. The Empire does not always do that. That host is unstable, the elder said. You risk much, Prince. Before Kale could speak, the royal advisor bowed. We planned for this, he said. We keep full control. He drew a small trigger from his sleeve. Thin lines ran from it into the floor, toward the dragon's collar and unseen, toward the marks in Mara's arm. The dragon's fear hit her. No, it roared. Not again. Her arm burned. She staggered. Kale turned. What is that? He snapped. Insurance, the advisor said. As the old venom work required, press the trigger. Pain exploded through Mara. The teeth marks flared white-blue. Light raced up her veins into her skull. Her knees hit the floor. In the pit, the dragon screamed. Energy crashed through the collar. Chains sparked. Fields shook. Its mind slammed into hers, wild with terror and rage. The device pushed harder. The advisor's jaw clenched. To show you, he called, that disobedience can be erased. We can end them both with this switch. The dragon thrashed in her head. Old images tore loose. Cold tables, bright knives, poison sleep, tighter collars. Every thought wanted one thing: break, burn. Destroy fire rose in its throat. Sparks jumped from the stage to a nearby pillar. Mara could let go. If she stopped fighting, the dragon would pour through her. Chains would melt. The council would die screaming, so would servants at the doors. Children in back rows, humans who did not even know she was there. No, she pushed out. Not like this. Instead of fighting the dragon, she pulled it closer. Listen, she thought, gripping its rage. Not them. Not now. Not the ones in collars. It fought her. It wanted a world with no walls and no one left to rebuild them. She showed it a different fire. Doors opening. Humans running free through halls. Chains on the floor instead of wrists. The sky wide and empty of ships. Free, she whispered. Not ashes. Free. The dragon's scream changed. Still loud, but focused. Fire stayed gathered in its chest, burning but held. On the platform, the elder stood. This was not in your report, he said. The advisor tried to smile. I can shut it down, he said. I only need the trigger sparked. A thin crack of blue light split its shell. Mara felt the bond twist. She was not only taking power, she was sending it back. No more chains. She gasped. The device shattered. Blue light raced along the lines in the floor. It hit the dragon's collar. One lock blew open, then another. Metal snaps echoed through the hall. The last lock burst. The collar fell in pieces. Chains slid loose. The dragon dropped to all fours, free. The dragon turned its head. One golden eye fixed on Mara. Through the bond, one clear question formed. Now. Mara pushed herself to her feet. Her legs shook. Heat burned in her blood, waiting. Around her, nobles held their breath. Guards gripped their weapons. Humans froze. Kale watched her, caught between fear and hope. Mara stood at the center of the grand hall. One human tied to a monster and watched by an empire. Whatever she chose next would decide who lived, who burned, and whether there would be any world left to save at all. ** for a breath. No one moved. The dragon stood free in the grand hall, broken chains at its claws. Mara faced it, one human in a circle of stone. Her bitten arm burned blue. On the high platform, council elders rose. Guards in black lifted guns. Prince Kale stood between pit and council, hands empty. The royal advisor bowed. Flood the hall with gas, he told the elders. Kill the beast. Kill the girl, the dragon heard. Rage slammed through the bond. Fire gathered in its throat. Burn, it growled. Kill. Mara lifted her glowing arm. Look at me, she thought. The dragon's eye locked on hers. The crowd faded. Only the bond stayed sharp. She saw again the dream of fire. Palace broken, ships falling, Bodhi's ash. No, she told it. We don't win if nothing survives. The dragon hurled its pain at her. Chains, knives, collars. Yes, they hurt you, she answered, and they hurt us. But look, she pushed new pictures back. Humans in dark halls. Small hands carrying loads. A child staring at a thin strip of sky. If we burn everything, she said, they die too. The ones trapped like you. The dragon's fury narrowed. Protect, it rumbled. Not just destroy, Mara turned so all could see her. You wanted a show, she shouted. You wanted to see what your asset can do. The hall went quiet. The dragon is free, she said. I'm tied to it. If you try to kill us, we will fight. Many will die. But we don't have to, she said. Not today, Council Elder's voice fell from above. You dare bargain with us, human? Yes, Mara said. Because I'm the only one here who can choose how far this fire spreads. She raised her arm. Blue light flared. Behind her, the dragon opened its jaws. Fire glowed between its teeth, ready but held. Here's my offer, Mara said. End the human transfers. Destroy the processing plan. Take the collars off every human in this palace. If we refuse, the elder asked. I won't aim at you first, she said. I'll aim at your ships. Silence hit the hall. The ships above your city, she went on. Full of your records and flags. I'll bring them down. On the platform, the elders bent together. The dragon's sharp ears caught scraps. She cannot reach orbit, one said. Can you prove that? Another replied. She broke our device. She broke the collar. How much risk do you take with fleets over your head? The royal advisor hissed. She is a maid, he snapped. She bluffs. Maybe, an elder said. Or maybe you built a fire you can't measure. Kale stepped forward. You did this, he told the elders. You used the dragon. You bought humans as tools. You ordered this bond. End it now, before the fire leaves these walls. You would bow to a slave. The advisor demanded. No, Kale said. I would stand beside a person. The word person hit the hall like a strike. The eldest counselor lifted his hand. Your terms, he said to Mara. We cancel the processing order. Humans in this palace, stay. Collars are removed. The advisor stared. You cannot enough, the elder cut in. We will not gamble our ships on your pride. He snapped a small crystal chip. Lights inside it went dark. Further talks wait, he said. Today, the dragon's fire stays in its throat. The dragon sent Mara one thought. Trust? Not really, she answered. But it's a start. Aloud she said. No gas. No tricks? No attack when we turn away? Or this ends now? The elder nodded. Guns lowered. Mara turned back to the dragon. Breathe.
Oh.
She whispered into the bond. The dragon lifted its head and opened its jaws. A river of fire roared upward. It hit the dome, not the stands. Stone blackened. Banners turned to ash. Heat rolled through the hall. Then the fire was gone. Smoke drifted along the ceiling. No one lay dead. For a moment, the hall was still. Then a single pair of hands began to clap. Prince Kale, another set joined. A human by the door. Then more. From the shadows where humans watched, the nobles did not clap. The council did not move, but the sound grew anyway. Some later said the dragon almost burned the council. Some said the maid held a monster back with one raised hand. Those who had stood there remembered something else, not the roar, not the flame. The moment when the dragon chose not to kill, because a human asked it not to. The moment when one bitten maid stood between an empire the fire and made it stop. That was what silenced the palace.